Hello and welcome to the Dr. Grant Show. Today's show topic, how and why money blocks affect emotional eating and food addiction. We're going to talk a little bit about the steps to release them. So we all have our ups and downs, but we never talk about the things that affect us the most. And in this episode of the Dr. Grant Show, which we're doing live, how and why money blocks affect emotional eating and food addiction, I'm going to show you how your money blocks can affect your eating habits and food addiction, which causes you to give into food cravings. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Dr. Kirsten Grant, and I am so happy that you have joined me this evening. In today's episode, I want to talk with you about something that affects so many people and they don't even realize that it's happening. Your money blocks can affect your emotional eating habits as well as any food addiction that you might be struggling with because of them. So if you are interested, and I know you are, so if you are interested in learning more, then please stay tuned for the rest of this episode. You will be learning today, number one, the problem with money blocks. Number two, what we do when we don't have enough money to buy what we need. Number three, when people are feeling depressed and stressed about their finances, how this turns into a problem. And number four, money blocks and how they cause us to change and alter our future. Let's go. So, number one, the problem with money blocks as it relates to food addiction and emotional eating is that it actually affects us in many different ways, and they sneak in ways that we don't expect. For example, when I was growing up, I was often at home with my great-grandmother, and we would peruse through the catalog. Back in the olden days, they used to have paper catalogs that were sent to your house. And she would tell me and ask me, pick the things that you like. Kind of a little imaginary shopping. And I would pick the things that I would like, and then she would wince a little bit and say, "Ooh, baby, you have expensive taste." Now, this happened to me when I was a kid, and even though she was unaware of it, what she was doing was wiring my brain, and perhaps you can relate, but she was wiring my brain to do two things. Number one, denying yourself your true desires and what it is that you really, really want. Number two, asking yourself automatically to downgrade and tell yourself you can't have that. Now, I want to expand this out a little bit for you so far as it relates to food addiction and emotional eating. Many women that I talk to in my wellness practice, so many things are rooted in the concept of not giving yourself permission to pursue the things that you really want in life. And it's become so ingrained, so much a habit, that we don't even know that this subliminal programming is at work. So we wind up doing one of two things until we're aware of it. We play small. And even when we get what it is that we desire, we're not happy because it wasn't really our heart's desire in the first place, which starts a cycle all over again of this emptiness causing you to give in to food cravings and emotional eating, overeating, and binging. The other flip side of the coin is we are eternally dissatisfied with our life because every time we look at something, we're telling ourselves, you can't have that. Or you find yourself, and maybe you can relate, unconsciously looking at a house, a car, a piece of clothing, school to further your education or invest in yourself, and you look and you say, oh, that's a little too expensive for my taste, or oh, I wish I could afford that. Automatically deselecting yourself from the opportunity and the possibility of advancing and maybe even getting what it is that you truly need. I could go on and on about this, and I will later on in a special event that I'll be telling you about later. Let's delve into number 2. When you don't have enough money to buy what we need or want, it leads to emotional eating because food becomes the comfort for our feelings of deprivation. Many women that I talk to in my wellness practice, they don't know why they have that sinking feeling. They don't know why they can't seem to feel truly satisfied and content no matter what they do. And it's because of these money blocks subconsciously rearing their head, and they're emotionally eating, they're overeating, they're binge eating because they feel deprived. Number 3, when people feel stressed about their finances, they often turn to unhealthy foods as a coping mechanism. Imagine this situation. We've been through a lot this year, and some people are still going through a lot, or you may know of someone that's going through a lot. When you get stressed about your finances and you try to tell yourself that it's going to be okay when it's not, if you allow yourself to wade too deeply into that stress, you disconnect the thinking part of your brain and activate what we lovingly call the monkey mind. And when that monkey mind is activated, it goes into that fight or flight. And the chemical cortisol is released. And all the body knows, because your body, it loves you. It loves you so much. All your body knows is, let's find a way to make you feel better. Let's survive. So what your body does is make food cravings for unhealthy foods more appealing. It does this in 2 ways. Way number 1, oh, I swear I was going to eat that salad, but I can't afford that. I shouldn't even waste money on a salad. Deprivation. The second way is just simply saying, I don't have time. I can't think my way into making a healthy meal right now because I don't have time. So I should just go through the local fast food drive-through, depriving yourself of your worth and your excellence and nourishment. This is what I mean when I talk about point number 3. When people are feeling stressed about their finances, that they turn to unhealthy foods as a coping mechanism. And why not? Unhealthy foods are loaded with high salt, high fat, high sugar. Give that brain that instant zing of comfort And heaven forbid if it might be filled with food additives that have been linked in scientific studies to increasing the need to consume it, and especially for vulnerable populations, for people that struggle with food addiction and obesity. But it gives the brain that almost pleasure-like dopamine hit and chemical hit that says bliss. The result? You repeat the process again and again and again because it becomes a habit. It becomes a pattern. You get me? Okay. Number 4. Money blocks can also cause us to feel like there's no hope for the future. And when we don't feel like there's any hope for the future, this causes anxiety and depression and can trigger, and has been correlated to in scientific studies, causing anxiety and depression. And the loop that starts up all over again is leading many people to eat more sugar and carbs, way more than usual, because these foods make them feel so much better, especially in the moment. Unfortunately, when that crash comes, they feel worse off later on. So this is a very heavy topic because it feeds into so many areas that are pivotal in your life, especially if you struggle with emotional eating and food addiction, and also the symptoms of food addiction, such as food cravings, overeating, binge eating, anxiety, withdrawal, because your brain is being hijacked and you don't even really know it. And when your brain's being hijacked, it's difficult to break the pattern. It's difficult to achieve your financial goals that you want for yourself and for your children and for your family. But I found a way to link this all together and do a deep dive into this to help you clear your money blocks so that you can finally break free from emotional eating. Isn't that great? So what I've done, because I'm so passionate about it, and rarely have people explored this in the area for people that are struggling with food addiction and emotional eating. So this is customized just for you. So what I'm going to be doing is having a masterclass and help you actually release your money blocks. It's going to be Wednesday, August 25th at 12 o'clock Central Standard Time. Here's what we're going to learn, and here's what we're going to do. You're going to, number 1, clear your money blocks so that you can break free of the cycle of emotional eating. Next, you're going to learn how fear and lack can keep you stuck in the food binge cycle. I am also going to make sure that you walk away with techniques for eliminating the fear of lack and other money blocks that are preventing you from reaching your full goals and operating in your full purpose and highest potential. I'm also going to help you with a sound bath to help you release your money blocks. By the time you finish this masterclass, you're going to be less sensitive to the feelings of anxiety And you'll be able to focus even better on what the main emotion is and what the main thought is, so that you can keep going and you can break through those money blocks. And the added bonus is you stop the cycle of emotional eating, binging, giving into food cravings. And a nice side effect of that, done consistently, is some weight loss. Just comes along for the ride. So, if this sounds really good to you, join me on Wednesday, August 25th at 12 o'clock Central Standard Time. Now, why am I doing this? I am doing this because I lost my mother to food addiction, emotional eating, and obesity in 2016. And when I lost her, it was not only emotional and very traumatizing, but we were afraid we weren't going to be able to have the funeral because she couldn't fit into a normal size casket. And they almost dropped her on the way to her burial twice. But that's not the full story. And we don't even have enough time to go into it here, but the thing that I wish for you to come away with so far as my motivation is I watched my mother struggle her entire life with her weight. I watched her deal with Captain Obvious moments where people said, well, instead of eating the whole pie, apple pie, why don't you just eat and pick apple flavored yogurt? And let's be honest, aren't you sick and tired of those Captain Obvious moments when you're really looking for a solution to your problem? And I saw my mother go to doctors looking for help, and sometimes she didn't get the help that she needed. And sometimes it was just due to time constraints. It's a very short appointment, I don't have much time with the doctor. And what she needed was a tailor-made white glove solution that was designed specifically for her life challenges, because it wasn't the need to count her calories. Not for the long term, not sustainably to keep the weight off, because she did lose the weight once. My mother lost over 40 pounds at one point in time. Unfortunately, life came in. Divorces, relationship breakups, change of job, unfulfilled desires, not giving herself permission to pursue what she truly and really wanted because she didn't think that she was good enough. Do you know anyone like that? Are you fitting that description? So what I decided to do was create something that's sustainable and teach people the skills that they need based on their life situations. And how we do that is a mix of psychology to get to the root of the problem so that you can break free of emotional eating and food addiction, using fitness, because once you break free, you get to the root, then all these other things become so much easier. Fitness and yoga, chakra work, which is a whole nother topic for a whole nother day. They are real. A Russian scientist has found a way to actually measure them. They are real. And you can influence them to help you achieve your goals. With yoga, as well as the psychology and energy work. Finally, and I'm just so excited about this because the program I designed it's so impactful and powerful, and you get so much done in so little time. But the food portion, no bland food, no tasteless food, no food that you wish that you didn't have to eat. And you're going to accomplish your goals of breaking free of emotional eating and getting healthier. And if your goal is to lose weight, that just is a happy byproduct of that. And we accomplish that with virtual cooking classes. So you don't even have to go anywhere. It's from the comfort of your own home. And to lock everything in, sound baths that work with the human frequency and the brain to actually move your brain waves from where you currently are now as you're watching this, which is in beta, and moving your brain waves from beta to alpha to theta, where we tap into the subconscious mind using a plethora of tools that we'll pick from based on what works for you, ranging from EFT tapping, clinical hypnotherapy, neuro-linguistic programming, also known as NLP. And when we take an approach that is comprehensive, yet compassionate to your situation, yet custom tailored to your needs, this is how we get you unstuck. And everything in your life simply opens up, from the money to the relationships to the career to you being able to speak up where previously maybe you hadn't spoken up before. So the link is down below. The masterclass will be taking place once again Wednesday, August 25th at 12 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. And if you'd like to just simply before the masterclass get together for a free one-on-one get-to-know-you session, you can also look on the website. It is edibleaddiction.com. You can schedule a free get-to-know-you session where we can just in a shorter amount of time get to what is the challenge that you're experiencing and serve and solve your problems. No hard pitch. Sometimes we get things done in that one single session and it's so freeing and so liberating that you don't really need to do anything else. But if it makes sense to work together for longer, then you can apply for consulting and coaching with me. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for watching the Dr. Grant Show. My name is Dr. Kirsten Grant. I am the president of Phoenix 6 and the founder and creator of edibleaddiction.com. Thank you so very much. I will see you soon. We're wrapping up season 2 of the Dr. Grant Show, so make sure to watch past, present, and future episodes